Hello, welcome back to Parking Lot Talks. I am Andrew, and we have our same hosts from last week. We have Damien,
Hello.
we have Grant,
Hey, everybody.
we have Noah.
Wait, why was that so funny? Are you okay, Andrew?
No, man, I'm sorry.
It was just Grant saying hi. What's wrong with you? God.
It's the pollen, man. It's getting to me. And then we have Steven.
Can someone scare me? I still have the goddamn hiccups.
Ooh, juries.
Boo.
If it actually
Graduate on
stops,
time. Ooh.
Nope, still
Your
happening.
band is gonna get straight 3s at assessment. Ooh.
Stop.
Alright, so
I'm scared now.
I went too far.
You went too far.
it's personal now, man. It's
Some
personal.
boundaries cannot be crossed.
Bro, boundaries can't be crossed. Alright, so how we doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I had my nephew over all day today. Let me
Word?
tell you. Oh yeah, man. I'm not having kids for like the next 10 years, but he's cute. He's real
Nephews.
cute, man. He just has
That's a retweet.
he has the adrenaline of like a small Siberian tiger. It's crazy.
Small
Even
Siberian
Siberian.
tiger.
A small
Bruh.
Siberian tiger.
Damien was Siberian tigers. This man thought.
I like
that a
my tigers,
Siberian
man.
Tiger, he thought that. No. This man thought that a Siberian tiger was a white Bengal tiger.
I had my moment. I'm man enough to admit that.
There you
You know
go.
what? I
Noble.
respect that.
Yeah, I respect that, Damien. Good job. Yeah.
I don't. So
Oh well, okay.
I'm sorry, man. I don't see it that way.
I just can't.
I
just
have
can't.
no.
Alright,
we're
respect
sorry
for
that-
Damien.
We're sorry
Not
that
one.
G Payne over here doesn't respect his mistakes, but
Dude, I think I deep in the bucket joke, man. People gonna have to study for that one. Research.
wow, dude, how are they ever gonna know?
Because his auto-tune was in the key of G, haha.
It actually was. It actually was.
Oh, all right.
Ooh,
So
okay,
Grant,
me,
how
I
was your
know
day?
I have ears.
Grant, how was your day?
My day was very okay. I spent all day doing homework and.
Boo! Tell a better story. Boo!
My story.
Story.
What story?
This little story.
All right. You know, tell us about the time that you did the thing. You know,
Yeah, the thing, bro.
you did
Yeah.
the thing.
What's the thing?
That's a
The
good
thing.
story.
Thing, Damien.
Just a thing?
and we hung out with those librarians from U of R. Remember?
What?
You know, the three-legged horse at 3 a.m. You remember that, right?
Yeah. The pink elephant.
It's
Come
getting
on.
worse and worse.
No,
It's like,
Damien.
wait, was I there?
It sounds like
Bleeping that out.
this is like an episode of Adventure Time.
Adventure time.
Adventure time. Come on, grab your friends. We'll go to
Copyright.
very quiet
Copyright.
Discord servers.
Boo-doo-doo.
Grant the guy.
Jake the dog
Damien the
and
Damien.
the tuba.
Fun never ends. Steamy.
Damien is his
Steven.
own species.
I see
I can
that.
see that.
Exactly.
Damien,
All right. Well,
Damien, how many missed calls do you have?
Too many.
How many
Wait.
texts do you have?
Steven, my phone was literally on the ground for like the past 30 minutes.
I
would
thought
answer
you
sooner,
meant-
I
like
promise.
80 times because he didn't remember that we had this.
So
that is okay.
with Damien, either he's playing For Honor with his phone on Do Not Disturb, or he's taking a freaking super long shower that seemingly never ends.
Or crap.
Hey, a nice shower. So
Never
that's a
ending
bad
show.
word.
good.
My
Yeah, man.
kindergarten teacher told me that.
Crap?
Yeah, same.
I'm sorry.
That's a bad word.
Oh, I thought it
meant
was
doo-doo.
shower.
There we go.
That's even worse.
You deemed it.
Literal poop water.
Dodo.
Okay.
Shout to Will.
Did you say shout
All
out
right.
to Will?
Anyways, Noah, what'd you do today?
Jack Diddley, binged Hulu, played a lot of music, woke up late. Yesterday, though, we cleaned out our garage, which was actually nice because it took us pretty much the whole day. And I found my old Game Boy.
Oh, yo,
That's not.
there it is.
I also found my brother's old copy of Pokemon Gold. Unfortunately, the save file was corrupted, but that means I can start a fresh file of Gold, which is awesome.
This Pokemon and Game Boy ad? Were we sponsored this whole time?
Sponsored by
No
Outdated
one.
Technologies.
That whole interaction, no, it kind of felt scripted.
Dreamcast.
Read and
Has
play
this
Game
ever
Boy
happened
sound.
to you?
You would just lose your Game Boy and you want to hear the wonderful jingle again.
I don't have a Game Boy.
Well, I have a deal for you.
Switch.
Wait, so
Come
Noah,
to your house.
you were playing a lot today?
Yeah, I was playing a bunch of music stuff today.
What kind of stuff did you
Like a-
play?
I recently got. This is actually a good time to plug this book. Actually, so in my lessons with Jeff, he recently plugged this book called the Potag. It's a French horn book. 335 selected melodious, progressive, and technical studies for the French horn. It's all
Oh,
in treble
yeah,
clef
I'm
and it
planning
works
to get
really
that.
well for expanding your range and reading abilities on tuba. It's a good time because I'm doing a whole bunch of things. Like I've been playing it almost exclusively on E flat tuba to get more
Mhm.
familiar with the smaller tuba, and the fact that it's all in treble clef means I'm kind of like erasing my brain. His rationale was it being in treble clef, I can kind of get rid of my predispositions on how things are supposed to exist in my bass clef mind, and then just try to play more musically and focus on good habits from the get-go as I'm getting used to treble clef again.
Okay, that's cool,
Nice.
man.
Yeah, Jeff
That's awesome.
recommended that book to me too. But
Can you
Go
say,
get
the
it.
name, can you say the name of the book one more time?
The 335 selected melodious, progressive, and technical studies for French horn by Max Potag.
All right.
What a name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it took him a whole 15 seconds to come up with the whole thing.
This is a fantastic book.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, it's 335. That's crazy.
And
Must be a big
finally, Steven, what'd you do today?
I woke up at 3 p.m.
oh, bright and early.
No, I
Sunday
woke up at
vibes.
10 a.m. Bought turnips in my Animal Crossing game, then went back to sleep. Then I woke up and then I played tuba outside, nice weather, and then I made the right leg on my Gundam and did some homework.
Nice.
That's a whole life right there, Steven. I'm kind of jealous.
Sounds amazing.
That sounds really good.
I need to get in on that, man. Where
Don't
you
want to
live?
brag
Hold
or
up.
anything, but you know.
Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
let me get your address. Let me get your social security.
Yeah, what's your,
yeah, sure.
mother's maiden name? Yeah, right here.
Is it Dorothy? Let me guess.
You always say Dorothy.
100% incorrect. Actually, Damien's mom.
That's the name,
Patience?
Damien's mom. Whoa! You gotta pick that out, man. I don't feel comfortable sharing my mom's name to the rest of the world.
I got you.
It's
The rest of the world.
Damien's mom.
Damien's mom.
I like how that implies it was on her birth certificate before you were born.
Just Damien's mom. She had to get a son named Damien. If not, it would have just been really weird.
Damien's mom.
They're like, what are we gonna name our first kid? And your dad is like, Julian. And then she's like, wait, I've got it.
Julian.
Wait, Andrew.
Oh, what?
How was your day?
Haha.
I guess that sums it all up.
I
That's
did
that.
I did nothing today. I did absolutely
Oh, really?
nothing. I messed around my computer for
Andrew, don't you
8
mean
hours.
I practiced today?
I played the entire Artwork book upside down from memory. Again.
Upside
Again.
down from memory.
That's some principal euphonium energy right there.
Yeah, man. Just you wait, man. When that space band happens, me and Damien will be first, second chair.
The Space
band.
Force Band.
Andrew,
I'm gonna call it
first euphonium in
Armstrong's
orchestra.
own.
Space band. Just keep an ear out.
Good lord.
It's a good start. Oh fuck! I forgot to put a timer. I probably should do that. Hang on.
It's been about 10.
We
About
started
10-ish
around
minutes.
like probably
About
like
10 minutes.
9:15. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just like last time where I forgot the timer until 10 minutes in.
It's a tradition. Got to do it.
I was about to say maybe he's learning.
It's like intermittent metronome, but for your timer.
Intermittent podcasts.
Oh, okay.
In the
That
mitten.
actually sparked my brain. I've got something to talk about.
Oh,
All right.
plop it on the table like a
First
giant fish.
topic of the evening.
Yeah.
DIY projects. So, this is super cool. Stephen, Andrew, and I are in this class at VCU called Jazz Pedagogy. And Thursday, we had our most recent lecture with Professor Garcia about improving our groove. And Garcia busts out the coolest homemade drum kit that I have ever seen. What do you guys want to talk about it?
Yes, that's the best thing ever. I'm sorry. That is. Yes, it was Garcia's trademark inflatable drum set.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
man.
was like a laptop snare on top of a music stand, and then a cymbal clipped onto the music stand, and then his hi-hat. His hi-hat was so good. It was just two pieces of metal that he
I wish we
rubber
could.
banded to his foot, and he just stomped on. That was his hi-hat.
I wish we could like blur out Dr. Garcia's face and just put the picture of that onto the podcast.
No, I'll do it.
Can you do that?
I have a picture you guys can put into the podcast. You can put it in for about 15 seconds.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, that's a great hi hat, right, guys? Oh wow,
It's a whole.
See it in the background.
Perfect.
That's amazing. But my question is, how did it sound?
I mean,
It sounded great, man. It's hard to
Really?
tell over Zoom. Yeah, it's hard to tell over
Over
Zoom,
Zoom,
but I
yeah.
assume it sounded great.
Okay, fair.
his gig
fair
bag
enough,
for
but-
his hi-hat was just a small little package that he got from like the UPS store.
I love
Yes.
that.
Just like an
I mean,
small
if you
little
got
envelope.
materials, man.
And he said it cost him like less than $1.
Jesus.
The best part was that he was like, "Yeah, here's my gig bag for my hi hat," and it was just so fucking like
Envelope.
Yeah, just a little envelope.
like there's like a yellow envelope, so you like
And
get your
then he was
report
like,
card
"And the
in.
rubber bands I get from the newspaper."
Richmond Times Dispatch.
He's actually played that set on gigs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's
he puts
pictures
it,
of him.
He fits it all into a cymbal bag.
Gracious Lord.
He's made money off of that.
It is the coolest thing. It is actually the coolest thing. Andrew can put in here. There's pictures of him. So he's got like an expanded version of the kit. So his rationale was that the toms and the bass drum weren't super important for jazz, like swing playing in particular, because really all they're there for is accents. But here's a couple pictures, as you guys will see. There's actually a picture of him
See his hi-hat?
playing, pictures of him, and there's one of him playing it at a gig. It's the coolest thing. It is literally the coolest thing. I plan on making one during the quarantine so that I can practice some drum
Oh,
stuff.
that's smart, man.
You have a lot of time.
I'm buying a like a small keyboard I can use during the whole quarantine.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
Trying to stay up on top of that.
what's up, Andrew?
I was actually looking for a snap top. God,
A snap.
laptop snares. Snap top.
Yeah.
They're all like $70 to $80, but I feel like you can just buy a snare drum for cheaper because I found one for $10 on Facebook Marketplace.
But a snare drum wouldn't fit on a
You'd find
music
it.
stand.
Right.
true.
But And the whole idea is that the laptop like practice snare is a little more gig friendly in terms of.
That's true. I mean, mine would probably just stay at my house, honestly.
Because
So
if you
this
put it on the
leads
stand,
me.
you won't hear the
Yeah.
snares. If you do a snare drum.
So this leads me to my topic. How do you guys feel about DIY? Two things: DIY instrument accessories and DIY instrument repair. Do you guys have any experience doing something to your own or someone else's instrument? And have you guys ever had to repair something on the fly?
And then just in case for our viewers, I thought it was DIY, which is do it
Do it yourself. Yes, it's
Is that
DIY.
what did I say?
DIY. I
It's
don't
just
remember.
DIY.
Oh,
Do
do
yourself
it.
Just
You heard
for our
it
viewers
here,
at home.
folks.
That's what that stands for.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so the tuba that I used before, the 52J, had a couple issues with it, and the other two before also had some couple things that I kind of makeshift did to it. So I think it's a great idea to think. I think some people will be like arguing like, "Oh, that's not the proper gear," but like you got to use what you got. Even like as a
preach.
college student, you gotta. Sometimes you can't afford everything, especially if it's a school instrument. Like, come on,
Yeah.
just kind of
True.
do what you can just so it plays right.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
What?
What Damon?
I was about to point out that Andrew, his second valve on his euphonium is being held together by some scotch tape. So it is a whole baby.
It fell off like a year ago, and I never glued it. But the Scotch tape has stayed on, so I'm not going to take it off.
But I think the big thing is that's like a minor thing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
putting some tape up there, you know, for a fact, isn't going to hurt the instrument in the long run. I really think it depends on the kind of thing you're fixing your instrument. Like, you know, if there's a hole in your trumpet, you're not going to want to put duct tape on it, you know? Hey, that's it. That's a wrap.
Wow.
You know?
I mean,
That's a good horn right there.
you know, there's the 52J had the lead pipe bracing came off, so it was rattling all over the place. You know how I fixed that? I put some electrical tape.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Electrical tape works so well.
Yeah, Dr. Walters, one of his euphoniums, he had electrical tape over one of his lead pipes. I don't know which one it is though, but one of his horns had that also.
Yeah, you know that other tuba, the one that's really hard to center on? The spit valve came unaligned. You know how I fixed that? Electrical tape.
Wow. So electrical tape, that's the way
It's
for
the
all
way.
of your issues.
Look here,
Magical.
kids, your horn falls
Bent
apart.
bell,
just get some
electrical
electric
tape.
That's it, man.
Electrical
You don't need
tape.
anything else.
Oh, your your clarinet's cracked. Electrical tape.
And pop some ET on that. It's all good, man.
Just flex seal.
Your voice
That's
hurts,
right.
electrical tape.
Yeah, it's what's
Yeah,
wrapped
just
around. It'll be all right.
tape up your neck.
You've got a fever. WD-40.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow, no, that's a really high pitch you said right there, man. Wow.
It's like you know, it's like saline spray.
Andrew, instead of using a beep, just use my voice going boop.
I'll find something funny to put over sensors, but for now, it's gonna be there. I would say what, Grant?
With fixing your instrument, high school, my senior year, I had a trombone solo in our marching band show. So at our first competition, I had my trombone and I didn't have enough hands because I played both baritone and I also had to carry something. So
You need at least 2 hands to play trombone.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. 1 second.
Sorry, someone's knocking on my door. And okay, so
It's me.
so I had my someone had to take my instrument because I couldn't hold it. So once I get up to the side of the field to walk onto the field before the show starts, the person that was holding it said, "Your slide feels really resistant for some reason." And I'm like, "What?" So I take it and like the slide alignment completely was all the way apart. So like I could barely move the slide. And I had a
Uh-oh.
solo where I glissed from 6th position to 1st position. So
Oh
on
no.
the field, I like it was the most painful solo I've ever had. So like the night I went home, I put it in a warm bath and I just like took a towel and started moving my hand down the slide to see if I could get it back in alignment. That's something electrical tape won't fix.
Hey,
Intensely
whoa,
nostalgic.
whoa.
That's how
You
you
never know
used
unless
it.
you've tried.
Okay, wait, hold
Number
on.
thing to go
We're
to is
not,
electrical tape.
we're not advocating bad instrument repair. Noted.
Well, I mean, you guys have seen my fiberglass sousaphone, right?
Yes, tell the
Yeah,
viewers
and
about your fiberglass
you see the
sousaphone.
neck covered in red electrical tape.
That's right. It's snug as a bug in a rug, boy. That thing
Snug
won't
as a
leak.
bug in a rug.
So I used there was a bracing issue along the bell and some of the main main wraps of the body on the instrument. So on the inside of the instrument, I flattened very thoroughly electrical tape over where the screws are supposed to be because they lost the part, and then I used a zip tie, an industrial strength zip tie that could hold 175 pounds of and I tightened as much as possible, and then made another one to tighten that as much as possible so it wouldn't wiggle. I have a hexagonal screw because I don't have a neck screw, and a hex kit to adjust the angle of the neck. I've got tape all over the neck. I've got tape along some of the bracings. I mean, I've done a lot to make this horn really, really play.
That's some good stuff, man. Yeah, I want to say I never thought about instrument repair in negative ways or like what could be bad for the instrument
Right.
until I started playing saxophone. Because then in a situation like that, it's so easy to mess something up because I don't understand how the mechanism works as well as brass. Because brass is
Yeah.
mostly, just the tube, and then if you
Right.
got a hole there, just throw it there. Your valve's broken, it's pop it up, whatever. But like saxophone, it's like, yes, the secondary pusher lever of the secondary octave key is not aligned properly. It's like, oh, you can't really
Yeah,
fix
like,
that with a yeah. I know a few tricks now. I learned from Dr. Evans. One was I don't remember. It was like cork was wearing out a little bit on one of the keys, so it wasn't like closing as well as it should.
yeah.
So he put a thin layer of cork between the pad and like the actual saxophone itself, like the body. And
Interesting.
it was like, there you go. And it's like, wow, I can't believe there are simple fixes for this mechanical monster. I never would have thought.
Sometimes I wish I took a woodwind for my secondary, but like, because I already knew flute, but I feel like I learned it when I was in middle school, so I didn't actually get the like pedagogical things from it.
Yeah,
Like
the
I knew how
crazy
to
stuff.
play it, but like I think it would
Yeah.
have been better to get from an actual teacher. But like percussion's not
Well,
bad.
pedagogical percussion in the band world is usually overlooked. So it's nice
Oh
that
yeah,
you
no,
have that bit of
like
prowess.
I knew more woodwind than I did percussion, so I went with percussion, and I've learned a lot.
Smart. Yeah, that's smart. Like other than doing like piano, I think that's probably the smart decision. But you're pretty proficient at piano, aren't you, Steven?
I guess I don't know. I haven't really played piano in a while. I shouldn't be
It's
saying
all
this out
relative.
loud, dude. I teach woodwinds.
Oh yeah, true.
I know woodwind
So
stuff.
so did you guys have now let me ask, right? I know some bands didn't have this for money reasons, but other bands didn't have this because like with a collection of instructors, they kind of expected that when you go to competitions and stuff, they would do it. Um, after I graduated, we had this amazing guy who grew up in a mechanic family. His dad worked on the cars and stuff, and he became this like instrument repair technician. I mean, he's been working on brass instruments, woodwind instruments, and percussion instruments since he was about 11 years old. He is fantastic with his hands, and he was assigned the role of repair technician pretty much from his sophomore year onward at Glen Allen High School in the marching band. I believe he's on the verge of graduating. If not, he's like a junior going into senior year. Do you guys have you guys been in a band where they have like a repair technician specifically to do like on the fly emergency repairs, or did you guys normally see the regular band staff and the director handling that sort of thing?
Well, for me, it was mostly my band director. He knew like all the little tricks, or like someone would walk up and be like, "My trumpet not working." He'll do the quarter turn thing on the valve. So like we never had like big issues arrive, but whenever there was something, it was always Mr. Conley, name drop. He was always the one who would do the repair on the spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
think we're in
band
the same
director
boat.
usually does that. Like if it's easy things, like, but if it's like there's a leak or your valve is completely bent or something,
They send it away.
they send it
Mhm.
away somehow. If it's a school instrument, they'll send it away. But sometimes band director will like have someone in mind. Like I remember when I was in middle school, I broke my flute, and band director was like, "Here, go to this guy." He wrote it down, gave me the address, and he fixed my flute in the day.
Mm, that's good. That's phenomenal.
In a day, wow.
Yeah, like less, like at like 3-4 hours or something. And there was a lot more wrong with the flute than when I came in with. He was like, "Yeah, someone was chewing your pad," and I was like, "What?"
What?
Yeah,
What?
there was. He was like, "Yeah,
Jesus.
you see this? There's bite marks on your pad."
That's
What?
disgusting. Wait,
Wasn't
Grant,
me.
the guy that the woodwind guy at our high school that would actually sell instruments sometimes, did he also repair, or did he only sell instruments?
I have literally no idea.
You have no idea. You know what I'm talking about though, right?
Stadler?
No. The other guy, the woodwind guy, the bald guy who'd play in the jazz band sometimes.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. I
You
know
know
you're
that
talking about.
guy,
That
yeah.
guy.
Oh, I know him.
No, I know who you're talking
He's
about.
the bald guy. He played in y'all's jazz band sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, he did. He played a saucy soprano sax solo.
Yeah, man, he
Let me
played
tell
soprano
you.
sax.
Soprano sax.
Well, in
No.
my opinion, he played a crispy soprano sax solo. But
In my opinion.
I thought he played a juicy soprano sax solo.
because we were there.
Oh, I thought it was saucy.
Well, Damien, you're wrong.
So when I auditioned for VCU, my trombone trigger, the F attachment trigger, was like, it did not work at all. It was completely stuck, and I could not use it.
I was there for that.
And so in my audition, Ross Walter pulled out a piece that literally required an F attachment trigger. And I was just like, so my F attachment trigger is broken. He's like, "Oh, well, do your best." So
I feel like Ross told us this story in masterclass. He usually
probably
tells us
did.
stories about people who audition and they're like funny things that happened to him while he was freshman auditioning. So I feel like he brought that up to us one time.
Yeah, I don't remember it though, so keep telling it. I'm curious.
So he told me during my audition, come to me around 1:00 and I will fix your trigger. And at 1:00, me and Damien brought me to Ross's office, and Ross pulled apart the entire F attachment rotary of my trombone and just started like cleaning it, and literally it took like 30 minutes and my trombone trigger was completely operational.
Word.
Nice.
Well, he knows his stuff. Like, obviously, if you know how to fix an instrument, then you're good.
Yeah.
Fix your instrument.
It's not like he has a doctorate or anything,
Yeah, exactly.
A PhD.
All right,
Music
guys. What is one thing that Ross taught you during your audition?
During my
Because that's how
audition,
it goes. You audition and then Ross ends up turning it into a lesson. For me,
True.
it was trying to play the lower ranges and trying to get the right pitches.
For me, it was how to read keys.
For me, it was actually playing what a euphonium sounds like. Oh, jeez.
Well, for me, it was just how to fix a trombone.
How to fix a trombone. That's the best one.
That's a good one.
No, do you have one?
I mean,
Oh, Noah's
I auditioned.
perfect.
Whoa,
Whoa, whoa.
Noah doesn't
whoa,
need
buddy.
no
Don't say the P word.
no
bro.
lessons.
Stop that! I hate that nickname. Stop that.
What, are you too perfect for us?
No. Okay. All right. All right. So in I think it was
It was the
form analysis
Yeah.
with Dr. Vlasovic. There were two Noahs because Noah Mendoza's in there, and or we're both Noah M, but his name is a little higher on the list alphabetically. So she's like middle name P. And then I don't know who suggested it. I will find where they live. But I like mentioned one day that I had like developed perfect pitch, and she was like, "Oh, we're just gonna call you Noah Perfect," and I was like, "Oh God, oh, God."
Beautiful.
She remembers every time.
I didn't even know that existed. I just said it.
Actually,
Glad that this
awful.
worked out.
Anyway, what I learned from Ross, probably something I'm still struggling with, which is the idea that if you don't blow through a phrase and connect notes even when there's articulations, your chopping phrase is short. So don't play a bunch of small phrases, which is something I still struggle with.
Yeah, we all do, man. Don't worry, we all do.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I feel that. Trust me.
It's about painting the Mona Lisa, not her eyeball.
I will paint her eyeball.
Oh, right.
Attaboy.
I don't do analogies very well.
Oh,
Right in the
I
spot.
think it was a really
I
good
thought that was
analogy.
effective.
there was one thing I wanted to talk about.
What was that, bud?
Sir.
It was something one of our commenters on our last podcast asked about. So the comment is from Ross Walter. It reads, "Since distilled water is created by condensing water onto a metal plate, is it possible that tuba spit valves might be a new source for fresh water?"
I think next time Noah and I are hanging out and we say we're thirsty, someone's got to get their tuba out. We'll test it out.
It's only fair.
Someone's drinking spit water.
It's like those Gatorade.
Someone in this group is drinking spit water.
I volunteer as
Angry.
tribute.
All right, Damien.
Damon, take one for the team. All right, good discussion. All right, next topic.
There was another one
Someone-
that Ross
someone
texted me
had to-
was. Ross texted
Someone
me.
had to wait. Someone had to figure out that you can drink milk from a cow. So
You right.
That's true. But no, was that some things that Ross texted me was, can you build the wall out of tubas? And then another one was ways the tuba can save the world.
I want these on like t-shirts.
Oh, that one that he sent Carson. Where is it? I have it on here somewhere.
does that make like Jeff and Ross Border Patrol?
Yes.
Their ice.
ICE.
I is at on my ways to use guys. And I
And I have 2 missed calls from Ross.
Wait, you have to explain that, Grant. You have to explain that one.
And you gotta put that screenshot in the video.
Okay, I'll make a note.
So, we were going to Tromblowen. We were about to head up to Tromblowen, which is a
Tromblowen,
event at JMU where this year special artist Carol Jarvis came in and we performed trombones
I admire
from
her.
basically
It was a
from
real good time.
all over the country or mostly in Virginia. Came to play and just spend the day at JMU about different trombone stuff. It was pretty cool. But before, we all had to figure out a way to get up there because our trombone player was playing it. So Ross purchased for the day a very big van. It was basically a bus. And a few people went. as for us, the 4.5 parking lots, we all drove in Andrew's car up there. But on the way to when Ross had gotten the bus, he had purchased snacks and started texting Carson, who was going in the bus, and texted, well, what he said, I is on my ways to you guys, and I have snacks. My guess is that he was joking and struggling to type, but Ross Walter,
all
being the
spelled
person he was, being the person he is, I could also honestly believe that it was just him talking like that.
It was like on my ways, WAZE.
Yes, like the directional app.
I had snack.
YOUSE.
That's a meme right there. I had snack.
Oh, there was another
And I had
text.
snacks.
There was another text he sent to Carson. It was like at 4:20 p.m. Oh, well, actually, no, it was on 11/11, and it was November 11th.
Make a wish.
And Ross texted Carson saying, "Road work ahead. Hope it does."
Oh my god.
I sure
Such a classic.
I remember that.
We're bringing back all the old memes in this podcast.
Dr. Walter, come to VCU
Vines.
for him alone. Period.
That's totally acceptable.
He's a gem. Dr. Walter is a gem.
Big fan.
Earth.
We're blessed to have him.
Really are. I'm not even exaggerating. That man has taught me more about music than I've learned of anything in my life.
I learned more about music in a day from him than I did in my lifetime.
Yeah,
it's really like that though sometimes. Yeah,
feels like that.
I'm a better person because of Dr. Walter, not just a musician.
Oh,
damn. Yeah.
He's gonna watch this and just cry.
Let's all give a moment of silence for Dr. Walter.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a little teary.
It's getting there. Alright. So next topic? Question mark?
Jeff Hudson.
Ways to make Dr. Walter cry. Go.
Practice.
There was. Oh yeah.
Record yourself.
Know how to use.
What's going on right now? There was something I wanted to. It was something Andrew and I were talking about right before this. We wanted to talk about good ways in general, like how to practice. What are some good techniques for practicing?
Like in general.
In general, not just like being in quarantine, but just in general.
Well, one of my biggest things is stopping the the voice in your head is always criticizing you, finding a way to actually pull that out of your head, leave outside the practice room, get your stuff done, then walk out and critique yourself. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to practice room, play a few notes, and be like, "Wow, I suck," and I just get super, demotivated from doing it.
See, a good thing to do is to write down all of those thoughts, and then to just have a visual thing about it and see which ones are actually helpful to you.
Yeah.
So, instead of I suck, or there's actual things like, oh, I wasn't at the same timbre as that for some reason, or something like that. And make sure you're writing it down so it's not overflowing your head. Because if your head's overflowing with all these ideas and then all these negative thoughts, then you won't be productive. It's always good to empty it out before you go into that practice session.
It's especially don't point out that you made a mistake. Don't just in general say that. You have to point out what mistake you made in specific. With me, I've been playing Ferdinand David trombone concerto because this is what I plan to audition on for the concerto competition next year.
For SWE?
I had it's an orchestral.
So for the orchestra one, so that's next semester. Oh,
Yeah.
Grant, we might go up against each other.
Oh man.
Ooh,
But
competition.
so recently
Grant's gonna win.
Ross and I have noticed I have many problems with, and actually many trombonists have this problem. In the beginning, it is tied off with a half note, and then it goes into a 16th note. But a lot of people play it as a triplet because right afterwards comes, of course, a beat full of triplets. So with me, I've been playing as a triplet, and I have planted it into my brain that that is how it sounds. So one thing that actually I have a sheet here that talks about it. It says like when mastered, something that you play incorrectly, get it planted in your brain, and it's harder to unlearn what you've mastered that is incorrect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I have that issue a lot. I tend to have that issue a lot more with pitch, because I don't have a super great ear. So if there's like, it typically happens if there's like a run, and it's like one fingering I'll like do wrong, and then I'll just have it done that way perfectly every time, and I'll just always do it wrong. And like, if I would like sit and stare at my music, like actually like analyze it, I'd be like, oh, I'm not playing that fingering right. But it's like I don't know that's wrong until it's like pointed out to me. Like for example, Dr. Walter, he tends to always be like, "Oh, you're doing that wrong. And you do it every time. That's a that's a good habit, but unfortunately, it's wrong."
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, if I had a better ear and would sing my pieces more often, then that problem wouldn't be as apparent, and I wouldn't be faced with that issue as much.
Yeah.
But I struggle with that, so I relate to you.
So in music, there are so many shortcuts that lots of people look over. So every musician, once it gets to a certain point, you should all your scales, what your major scales, minor scales sound like. And in music, there's lots of moments where there's just something like a G flat major scale. And you're just ignoring that fact and just playing notes that you see on the page.
I prefer F sharp.
Said no one ever.
Well,
Hashtag flats are better than sharps.
Hashtag you're right.
I think it depends.
But I mean, lots of people overlook these things. So it's good to analyze your music thoroughly, like look for your scales, look for like the Roman numeral analysis. I know it's painful to go through, but I mean I've done it on past pieces, and it has helped just understand the piece more than basically any other piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I lately for my G recital this semester, because everything's online now, and I want to go above and beyond for it. I'm turning the backing track, the piano part of my Horowitz concerto, into a finale variation. And so by doing that, I have to go through the score and the recording slowly, piece by piece, and write down and figure out every single part and what instruments playing what and what chords they are and everything else like that. And I've learned that there's some crazy cool chords in my piece, and I never would have I never noticed when I was playing my solo. It was just something I never picked up on at all, and I think it's awesome. I've never.
Yeah, I mean, there's things in
cool.
music you just don't really realize until you look at it deeper, look into it deeper.
It's crazy to imagine that music is actually fun
Whoa,
to learn about and do.
Whoa,
It's
that's
a-
had no
controversial.
idea.
It's a
That's
foreign thought,
controversial.
but
He
it's
said the
there.
F word.
Have you sat in a music
Fun.
class?
Fun is not part of my curriculum. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yo, class is that, bro? Mechatronics.
I just
It's-
offended so many people.
Mechatronics.
It's as we used to say at my school,
Megatron.
there's no fun in band.
Right, there is no fun in band.
There is no fun.
There's
Have
only
no
band.
fun. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Have fun.
But there is
please.
fun
Have
in
fun in band.
fundamentals.
No, dude, that's one of the big things that I've gotten during my lessons. Is just like I'd be playing and Jeff and or somebody else would just be like, "Dude, just have fun," and then my playing would change because I
Yep.
Yeah.
think too technical about things, and then sometimes you get into your own head and you forget what you're doing in the first place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And most of the time, the reason we don't have fun while we play music is because of like thoughts that are going through our head. Like how Damien said previously, there's a voice in your head while you practice, but there's also a voice in your head so while you're performing, lots of people tend to think about what the crowd's doing, who's looking at you, if you left your fridge open. I don't know. It just makes you incredibly nervous, and it happens with me a lot. I mean, I tend to shake while I perform. It's something I've been working on, but it's just a matter of trying to get the voice, like just pushing the voice out of your head so you can be the best that you can be. Have fun with music. That's what music's meant for, having fun with it.
Yeah. It took me a long time to learn that music, it's not like performing music. It's not about like being perfect. It's about it's about having fun. It's about making art, making sound, taking your audience to another place, either
Telling them a
mentally.
story.
Yeah, exactly. And it took me a
Somebody
long
say
time to learn
something
that.
about telling a story through music.
And that's actually something I wanted to bring to you, Steven. You have lots of good ideas about this. I thought maybe you could talk about.
So it's basically just you're gotta you're basically acting something out for your audience. It's like imagine you're sitting through a play and they're not telling you anything. They're just standing there. Like the play is happening, but they're not really doing much. It's similar to music. If you're just playing the music without any kind of thoughts or ideas going on, it's just gonna be like plain old
Typewriter.
music. You're not gonna feel it. You're not gonna get
Yeah.
that actual feeling of I don't know. And
Emotion.
yeah, you're not gonna get the emotion. And if so, I think it's better to write out a story for what you pictured this music to be portraying so that you can portray it to your audience. And I think it works very well because I had this conversation with my student like yesterday. Um, so what I'd like to do, I've started doing for every etude, I would play through it and then I'd write down the story that that I'm imagining, the scenery. So like the first, like I just played Bordoni number 4, and I wrote down playing in an enchanted forest because I pictured myself playing in that. Oh no, it wasn't Bordoni 4. It was Snedeker. It was a Snedeker etude. Um,
I was gonna say Bordoni 4 and an Enchanted 4.
no, it was a Snedeker etude. I think it was like 12 or something, but like I was like, I'm in an enchanted forest. And when you actually have the ideas and emotion that you want to put into your music, it comes off more musical, I guess. Um, I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
It's not
it's
simple,
like
but it's true.
it's worse. I don't know. It's hard to put into words. It's just like versus hearing someone talking monotone versus someone putting actual like emotion into their talking.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of just our brains connecting the dots together subconsciously. If you're trying to focus too much on one thing, like I gotta connect this phrase, I gotta play this note super legato, this note staccato, you kind of lose the whole aspect of what music is. But if it's just like I want to portray this character, your brain's gonna make the music, you know?
Mhm.
Paralysis
Music's
by
in the moment.
analysis.
Yes, sir.
That I feel like the VCU professors do a fantastic job of that because VCU being the school that it is, the professors kind of follow into the path of like you should follow your own voice and do make your own creative decisions because if you're not being yourself, if you're just doing what you're told to do necessarily, in some ways some of your own voice can be lost in the music. So the creativity aspect of performing a piece is really important. I think our professors handle that really well. Starting with all the fundies and then going from there. Our professors are fantastic at forwarding.
Yes, I agree. Your
Yeah.
mic got muted all of a sudden, but yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I it's just one of those things where it's like it's about. It sounds weird. It's not about you. It's about the music, and like the best way I've like learned to deal with that is by it's the same principle as one of the guest artists came and she was like, I don't aim for 100%. I aim for like an 80% when I perform because when I don't because when I miss like one note or if I mess up a few times, it's like it's still a pretty good performance. Just might split one note, my whatever, but I'm able to focus on the music. I'm able to focus on the phrasing and focus on the character I'm being.
When
And
in doubt, lower
yeah.
your expectations.
Yeah, and yeah, the way I see it, the way I like do it, I think of it as I care a little less, which sounds really counterintuitive, but I think my version of like so I don't choke and get nervous. If I just like pull myself out of the situation a bit, like mentally, I'm able to be more calm and play the music the way I want to, which I do a lot in jazz, where it's like the situation is way less intense. It's part of the culture. It's part of the music, the imperfections of everything. And so, being able to put myself in a similar mindset with classical music, I'm able to do the music justice to the best of my abilities by not having the pressure all on me by thinking that way.
Yeah. I mean, if you miss a note and you pay attention to the fact that you missed that note, you will miss more notes.
Yes,
Oh
Facts.
yeah.
big facts. All right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think that's silence. Said all we
God
need to
damn
know on that topic.
It's hard to put into
Alright,
words
so
about what I wanted to want to say.
it.
Like everything about this whole story thing. I feel like I should say more, but I don't know how to put it into anything.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
You put it into a book.
It's
You
Song
know
of
who
the
put
Wind.
it in the book? Yeah, there you go. I was like, you know who put it in the book? Arnold Jacobs.
It's Arnold Jacobs where you focus more on the character than you do yourself, and playing comes out more naturally, which in turn makes you a better player. And they're remastering Super Mario Galaxy, and all sorts of good things are happening.
Hang on, man.
All
Did you
right.
say
Lost-
Super
you lost
Mario
me for a sec.
Galaxy?
What?
What?
Huh?
Arnold Jacobs?
Yeah, Arnold Jacobs. Okay.
Yeah.
Who?
Watch your first
Wait, who's
episode
that?
and know.
Wait, this is when you cut back to the description of Arnold Jacobs in the last episode. You just
It's
like paste it into here.
Just like
Arnold Jacobs.
Flashback. Like black
reverse,
and
reverse.
Stop. It wasn't even a good definition.
Flashbacks.
white. All right, so do we want to move on to another topic?
How
Sure.
much time do we have left?
We have about 10 minutes, so either we can wrap up. If someone wants to tell a story, that'd be good.
Tell a story.
Yeah, a story.
Yeah, tell a story
Tell
through
a
music,
story
of
to-
course.
Through music?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
like
just
we were
any
just
story, I don't
talking
care.
about.
Oh, this isn't a story, but I'm just interested. Have you guys listening to any kind of new music lately?
In the
Any new
last 10 minutes,
bands, any new
Damien will now
genres?
play all 10 Bordoni etudes. All first 10 Bordoni etudes. Damien will
Yeah,
play.
Damien, go. Damien, go.
Yeah, the new music I've been listening to is Grant's Auto Tune.
It's not auto-tune, baby.
It's
It's
about
all natural.
It's just my voice.
Can you change the key to C sharp minor?
I don't know about that,
You
but I
guys
can
should
sing the
listen.
Tetris theme for you.
Oh, please do.
You You guys should
Oh.
listen to Caro Caro
Hello?
Bonito.
It's a good bit.
This is pretty good. It's a good bit.
You should listen to Caro Caro Bonito.
What is that?
Caro Caro Bonito.
It sounds
It's called-
familiar. What is that?
Do you know that song? How many shrimps do you have to eat before your skin turns pink? They sing that song.
What?
Oh, yeah, that song. It's
Ever
one where
watched
it's like,
that video? What?
what? Okay, Darth Vader, come on.
Ever watched that video? Don't.
Turn the dumbass voice mod off. I can't understand you.
Don't touch me, I'm scared.
Can you say pay no attention to the man behind the curtain?
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Nice.
You know, it kind of sounds like the guy from
Okay, great.
was
Try
it-
the quote again that Noah told you.
Oh yeah.
It's
Crap,
important.
let me turn on the
And
voice.
go to the right one. Make sure it was the one we tried first.
This is important.
Alright, so ready? For a second. And I wrote it all down. It's right here. So, Mobile Task Unit. Nine-tailed fox has entered the facility. All remaining survivors are advised to immediately.
I want to show this on the recording.
I think you may have to turn up your microphone sensitivity in Discord a little bit.
Yeah, you
Nah,
keep
we can
cutting
figure out
off,
later.
man.
We'll figure out later. Well, we can cut this episode off short if we want. Have a 55-minute one.
I mean, we don't
I've
even
got
know when we
really-
actually started.
I've got some really important news.
Yes, I'm listening.
My life as a teenage robot is available in its entirety on Hulu.
What? All of it?
Yeah,
You're lying.
Every
Dude,
episode.
You're lying.
So bad.
literally the entire show. All 3 seasons are on Hulu. I know what I'm watching.
There's
Wait.
only 3 seasons?
There's
I
only
thought there was
3,
more.
really?
Yeah.
Yo, I
but
really-
it's
That's one of those
3
shows I
pretty
feel
long
like it gets
seasons.
slept on.
Yeah, I feel like all
Yeah.
those shows in my childhood are like that.
It was
Josh and
it was
everything.
that show was kind of dark.
It was.
Dude, that one episode where it was like the skin suit that would take over the robot girl.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh,
That's the one.
That's
That
the
is
one,
the
man.
one.
We all know that's the
Apparently-
episode.
I'm like looking, and apparently that's like the 2nd episode.
That's the second. Are you?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yo, they bold.
That moment where you're
Holy
like, it can only
hell.
get worse from here.
Dude, and apparently it comes back in the 7th episode. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Dude,
jeez.
the kid shows back in like 2006, 7, they were messed up. All kinds of just
What about
innuendos and
Chowder?
stuff in that.
That was a good show. Chowder.
Chowder was a good show until they ran out of good material and just abused fourth wall jokes.
Yeah, like
Chowder
that car,
and Flapjack?
that car wash.
That was a good gag, but that was before they started abusing jokes like that.
Yeah, literally every episode was just a fourth wall.
Yeah.
Dude, it's kind of like, it's crazy. It's like they made the show and they had a dartboard and they're like, all right, throw it. Boom. It's like, the skin one's like, all right, well, hit the dart, so we gotta do that one. That's the 2nd episode.
They're like, what if we made a teenager, but she's a robot, but in one episode she grows skin?
And that episode is the 2nd episode.
Dude, that was a creepy
They're like-
episode.
They've been
God,
planning it for a while. There was just one weird guy in the back of the room.
Like her
I
skin
came up
was
with
just,
that
like, flapping
idea.
about everywhere. It was weird. She was just going into another person's body.
Yes. Or remember the one where she was like, "Oh no, robots don't dream. I can't handle this." So they let her dream, but it broke. So she started like dreaming in real life, and it was like messing with her.
What the? Oh, that's wild.
There's a lot of like kind of heavy stuff in this show.
Yeah, I'm about to watch that just for the
Yeah.
emotional value.
Oh, same.
It's a good time. I can tell you that much.
Okay, Damien.
It's a good time, man. I know a good time.
I've never known a better time.
All right, I think that's good
I'm-
for the episode.
I've never known a better time. Just waiting for the auto tune.
All right,
Oh.
so
Shit. Give me a second.
I hope Grant, you're on the clock, bro.
Dude, when we cleaned out our garage, we listened to a combination of 80s music, swing, brass band music, bluegrass.
Oh,
and
heck yeah.
And we listened to, I don't know if you guys know the artist Flamingosis. It's like a
Yes.
combination of EDM, hip hop, and smooth jazz. It's really nice.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
I am smooth jazz.
I like the blue.
I am Lord. This is bringing back every episode. Okay, let's just say I am Lord every episode. Every single one.
All two.
All two of them. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up now. Thank you for tuning in. We gotta go pay for our car now.
Pay
I
for
I
our
forgot about that
car.
completely.
Here,
I did it again.
I'm behind my mortgage too.
Okay, what
I
do you
wanna-
guys say? What do you guys say next time we get one of those like 2-hour spots?
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah.
It's a little farther, but
That's never gonna happen.
you don't know that.
Can I sing the outro?
Yes, of course.
All right, here it goes. Bye bye. I think I'm cutting out right now. My-
All right, let's hear that. Let's hear that flat 9 and sharp 11.
Yeah, one more time. For the people in the back.
I could change the tuning of this. I could make it flat. Oh wait. Oh no, I can't. Never mind. There's no pitch thing on here. That's very disappointing. Oh no. Oh man. I wonder if there's any other music. Oh no. Oh.
This is the
It's a good
outro.
Ooh, voice
What
changer.
is
What
that
does this mean?
progression? What is that progression?
What is this?
What
does this
Hold
do?
a long tone.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
What is it? Hold a long tone. Take a giant breath and just like sing into your mic and hold one note. I want to try to hear it. It's in G, and I definitely hear like a 1 and a 6, but
probably the
Yep.
it's something. It's 1 something 6 4 1.
Maybe it's a 3.
I don't know.
It's just every number other than 1.
It's an 8.
All right, guys. That's the end of the episode. So goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.